even some of my closest family members believe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, H3ll. I hope you all are doing absolutely amazing. I am wearing all black today, and the reason why is because I feel like today is the day that I finally and happily, bury my past. Yeah. And it's a perfect day to wear black. Okay, perfect day to wear black, because the story time I have for y'all today is a headache. Is a headache. And this is my divorce story, guys. And this isn't like any other divorce story, because as y'all know, my first so-called husband was not really a husband, because that marriage was not Islamically correct. It was not a marriage whatsoever. It was not valid, but they like to call it a marriage. Me, I refer to this guy not by his name, not by ex-husband, no, by none of them titles. He is known as a rapist. Like, I don't know his name no more. Yeah? Anyway, as y'all know, I went to Somalia when I was 17 years old with my mom, and I'm getting like heart palpitations. Can't wait to bury you. Anyway, I was 17 when I went to Somalia, and me thinking, oh my God, my country, my family, Yo, I like how they shitted on me, shitted. I got shitted on. 17 years old, just about to turn 18, and I met my evil uncle. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll catch you up real quick. I went to stay with a psychotic uncle of mine, from my mother's side, and he manipulated, he beat me, he manipulated me, he beat me, he threatened me with Al-Shabaab and being hurt and being imprisoned and having my pictures put up on borders if I ever tried to escape. So my guy was a psychopath, okay? He was not okay here. Anyway, he forced me, whilst manipulating my whole entire family, because obviously my parents were in the UK, they were in London. After manipulating my whole entire family and, oh my God, abusing the shit out of me, mentally, physically, emotionally, I was trapped, okay? Definition of trapped. I have never ever, listen, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. See, my worst enemy, I don't even wish that on them, okay? So anyway, I was forced to get married to my 16-year-old cousin, blood cousin, first cousin. And from the first, listen, I didn't even know, the day that I was getting married, okay? I didn't know jack shit. Nobody told me nothing, They did their meher by themselves, And then I got a call hours later telling me that I'm not married and I have to get ready, Anyway, long story short, put in a room where I was basically harmed in the most craziest way possible, really. I never in my entire life did I think that I would be in an abusive relationship, or I would be in a situation where my body is taken advantage of, or Like, when I tell you rape was not in my future whatsoever, okay? That is not something I ever thought was even possible, personally, for me, right? It didn't help that I had the FGM procedure done. But when I tell you, for the period of, I think it was like 4 to 6 months that I was married to him, and during that times, not only was I was mentally tortured, I was physically tortured, I was emotionally tortured, I was financially tortured, I was kept away from my parents. I had limited absolutely everything, limited my freedom, where they took everything away from me, okay? And once I returned from Somalia, my mother passed away. So I did not have support from my mother. I didn't have support from my brothers. I didn't have support from my dad. I didn't have support from any family member whatsoever. And majority of them that are here are from his side, like my mother's side, right? Most of them are here. And not one person offered to even help me get rid of this human being out of my life completely, right? I've just lost my mother. I'm still legally, they put it into my head that not only is it okay for my ex so-called husband to me, but it was okay to like halagu dhahay maxaa dhahay sheeg nin naagtiisa ma xoogi kariyo, nin naagtiisa xanuun u geystay, is that not xoogid? Is that not haram? Kitaabka waxay ku qoran tahay qof dhiig ma ka keeni kartid, dhibaato ma gaarsii kartid, right? What is xoogitaan? maxaa marka xoogitaan? What is that? dhibaato maaha, xanuun ma aha. They tried to convince me that a man is okay to take his wife as he wishes because that she is a property. Like, no. Everyone ignored me. Long story short, everyone ignored me. Everybody. I had no one person's help, right? I cried myself to sleep for 2 years. It took me to divorce him. 2 years. It took me 2 years to divorce my husband, because I had it in my mind, if a woman is harmed and she's not being provided with her rights, and she's not financially supported, and there's no children between you guys, and you're not having any type of relations, and you live in 2 different continents, you can get a divorce. So I went to mosques around London. I spoke to sheikhs. I broke down physically and mentally. Yeah, I broke down and I explained what had happened to me and what took place. And I need this to go away. I need him to go away. I need to put this in my past and make it as if it never happened. And I did. For 8 years, 9 years, I buried it. I went to mosque to mosque to mosque, to Islamic centers, to family members, begging them, please help me. Please find a way. Do you know what they said? When I went to the masjid, give us his address so we could send him a letter. They don't even have streets names in Somalia, let alone door numbers. I said, where the hell are you going to send it to? They're like, we need to communicate with him. I am not communicating with him. How the hell do you expect me to find a way for you to communicate with him? I don't want a communication with somebody who physically harmed me, who violated me. Yeah? Who my dignity and my pride was done. They did not give a fuck about me. When I tell you, men look at you like you're a fucking object, they do. Wallahi, I know. Don't even say, I know. I know. Marka kacdin, yeah, when you get, yeah, akacsatin, you don't look at that woman like she has feelings, emotions, no, you don't give a fuck. The only thing you give a shit about is satisfying yourself. And the only thing that this motherfucker gave a shit about, even though he was so young, is what I had no help. I was breaking down everywhere, left, right, and center, just for so this guy can give me my dalaka, or just so that I can get an Islamic divorce, even though my marriage wasn't valid. I told them that not only did I say I wanted a meher, I didn't say it. I did not ask for nothing because I was not made aware of my wedding day, right? When I realized that people were not taking me serious, and that I felt like even my deen was against me, yeah? And for someone that has such, like, wallahi billahi, I'm scared of, like, that in a haqq, like, I don't like wronging people. I hate it because I'm scared of karma, okay? I hate it. It's haqq. I don't like haqq. I don't like it. I don't like to play with that shit, okay? So for someone who has love for the deen to hear that it's okay for them, it's okay for their husband to take them as they were, knowing all the pain and agony and cries and beatings that I had to endure, everything that I had to endure, all I was hearing from my community, from my family, yeah, is that I'm a man, a husband, cannot do these things. Yeah, he hit you, but that's okay. It's all right. Like, it's happened one time. It's okay. Like, like, you can get over that. So imagine being a victim of a crime where you did not speak about it for so long, and you're trying to get help to get rid of the person that caused you this much pain. But there is no light. No light. For years, I thought, subhanallah, why am I hated? Like, why am I hated? Like, what is it that I have done? And I stuck with that question. Wallahi, I have asked myself that question up to the age of, I think, 26, 27. I stopped asking myself that question. Why? Why me? Why me? Why is my family not helping me? Why is my family allowing me to suffer? Why are they watching me? It's as if sometimes I used to think, wallahi billahi, like, you would clap for me when I'm at my lowest, yeah? But when I'm, like, at my highest, you're like, you have nothing nice to say. Either way, you have nothing nice to say, but you like to see my downfall. That's what I used to think. Like, yo, I don't know how to make your... Okay, you know what? I'll let y'all, like, try to put yourselves in my shoes, yeah? I was raped by someone that I was forced to get married to in an invalid marriage, right? And then when I returned to this country, I lost my mother. I had nobody to offload and talk to about this. Everyone that I would try to would tell me that there was nothing wrong with what he did. When I tried to go to a mosque to get divorced or to get advice on how to get divorced, all I met with was with brick walls after brick walls after brick walls. It doesn't matter how many times I told my story. It didn't matter how many times I broke down. It didn't matter how many nights for 2 years, yeah, that I cried myself to sleep. Cried myself to sleep. I was not physically okay. I was not mentally okay. I was not okay at all. I felt like everyone was just watching. I called my brothers, please help me. What can I do? I don't know where he is, but you can get contact with him. You're like besties with the auntie, with the uncle. Why could you not do this for me? Why? Like, I don't, well, illa hadda wa fahmi lahay, but you know what? I don't care. Well, I don't care hadda. And then, like I said, for 2 years, no matter where I went to a masjid in Wembley and another one in Neasden. And I remember those two so vividly because I physically broke down. And I said to them, this is what's been done to me. And you're telling me that you somehow need to communicate with someone that does not have a postcode, that there's no way for you to speak to him, but you can't take my word for it. You're not listening to me. So I feel like, as much as, you know, masjid leaders like to make themselves think that they're doing or providing some sort of service to the community, you're not providing no services to the females. You are not. Your Muslim sisters, yeah, I believe you're abandoning them. Not only are you not teaching them their rights, yeah, which is not taught in most households. Women's rights are not taught, right? But when an incident where a woman is accusing her husband of things like domestic violence or beatings or harassment, they're like, we need to speak to your husband. We need to do. It's all about him. Like, and is I don't think it's done for the protection of the woman, because I think that the conversation always ends with, he's your husband. Just have sabr for him. Oh, sabr, you know? He's a nice man, you know? He'll change. We promise he won't do it again. So I would personally like mosques, masjid leaders, yeah? That you call yourself such high Muslims, right? Yeah? You're in there 24/7, yeah? You respect the deen so much, right? So why is it so hard for you? Or why was it so hard for me? For 2 years, it took me to get my dalaka out of the mouth of a man who was never even married to me. But because I love my deen so much, I wanted to hear it. I wanted to know, yeah, that string that was attached to both of us, that was connecting us, was cut. I wanted it cut. I wanted it to end. I wanted to put him in my past and leave it there for him to rot. And then after exhausting my ways, completely exhausted, I was tired. I was tired of begging family members. I was tired of trying to find ways. I was tired. I was so drained. Yeah, I did not give a shit. I didn't care. I didn't care. Well, I stopped caring. I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped like doing normal things. My thoughts turned completely negative. Like, why me? I felt like it was always just the bad was just happening to me. And of course, from what I experienced, of course I felt like that, right? Anyway, I begged my sister. I was like, please, you need to help me. No one else is listening to me. No one else is taking me serious. Even my own dad wasn't taking me serious. He was like, well, how am I going to contact them? How the hell did they contact you when you were giving me up? Gave me up like I was absolutely nothing. Didn't even know the guy's name. He's Kabil, nothing. You knew nothing about him at all. Yeah? You gave me up. So, with the same energy, find him again. But no. It didn't happen. And then one day I came back from work and I was exhausted. And I was, oh my God, the night before, I was crying my eyes out. Absolutely, like I did every single night for the past 2 years. Not only was I crying about my mum, but the fact that I had to hold on to so many secrets, to the fact that I was being accused of so many stupidity. Yeah, I was being put down, being called names, being accused of doing some madness, and I'm like, you do not know anything. You know nothing about me. You did not try to help. You did not try to put yourself in my shoes. You did not even ask. Shamsa, what happened to you in Somalia? No one person asked. So one day, after months and months and months of begging my sister and getting the same answer, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't do anything. So I'm like, my dean can't do anything. My family can't do anything. So I'm stuck with my rapist. I'm stuck with the memories. And I could not live with that. I could not live with having him on my shoulders. I felt like he was breathing down my neck. Right? So when I exhausted all my options and I completely gave up, yeah, I was hoovering. I remember I was hoovering my brother's room, and I was staying with my sister at the time. And she comes in and she's like, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. I kept hoovering, and she's like, no, you might want to sit down. I'm like, just tell me, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, Ishek, just tell me. Hurry up. And she said, you're divorced. Yo, when I tell you, my heart dropped and I started shaking. Oh my God, I was shaking from head to toe, and then I completely broke down. And I thought, I am finally free of the person that literally destroyed my life, turned my innocent mind upside down. I lost hope for a lot of members of my family. I lost hope. I lost hope. Well, I lost hope because I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried, and I felt like I was failing at every stop to try and get rid of this person, to the point where I don't even know why I'm crying today. Do you know what's really sad? Because I thought I was never going to be able to shake him off or get rid of him. I thought, like, I'm hated this much that the people want me to be stuck. And people wanted me to actually be stuck with my rapist. Could you imagine explaining to a sheikh the horrendous things that you've had to go through and not have anyone believe you? It's like going to a police station and the police turn around and say, what were you wearing? But the look on their faces is like, that's not possible. A husband can't do that to his wife. Till now, even some of my closest family members believe that what happened to me was acceptable in the eyes of Islam. And that confuses me. Well, that confuses me because if you have that mindset, then your kids, your little girls being taken advantage of, it's okay for you. I don't know what type of mother that is, wallahi. I'll tell you that for free right now. And I get it. These people have traumas themselves, and I can't like that. But I don't give a fuck. It's 2021. We don't live in the fucking 50s no more. We don't live in the Stone Ages. We know the difference between wrong and right. خلط يا صح. So aniga ujeedo ano og xanuunka la gaarsiiyey xaqa aniga laga galay. The things that were done to me, I had to endure it. Why? Because he was my husband. And in the eyes of Allah, I am a property of a man. And in order to please him, I have to please the man. That's what men within my community want me to believe. In order to get to Allah, in order for me to get to Allah, I have to please the man. Whether that be sexually, emotionally, I don't give a fuck. No, I was not designed like that, Sahib. But it's so sad. And it just makes me think, if it took me so long and I could not convince one sheikh or one member of my family that what happened to me is not only real, but is my horror story. It's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. I am scared for the children of that Hada right now live within the Somali community, who are the same age as my daughter, or even a little bit older. The children that have to hear that Hyogitan is not Hyogitan hadi o ninka ku qabo. So ninkaada soo rabo kaa yeelan karaa. Halahasa. So your husband could do whatever he wants to you. The moment that she told me, I couldn't believe it. So I kept saying, it's not real. You're lying. And she's like, no, well, I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. And I'm like, you must be, this is not, it can't be this easy. Like, it was so, 2 years. I suffered and cried myself to sleep and thought I was the most worthless thing in the whole entire world. 2 years, I felt like complete and utter shit. Completely gave up on myself. Lost so much weight that till this day, I struggle to put it back on. As you can see, my sausage hands. I really hope that masjid leaders and Islamic leaders and scholars do more to protect women and victims. Because this is massive haq. Wallahi. Aniga haq weyn aa laga galay. Weyn. A massive wrong. I was wronged in a massive way. By a lot of people. But I do not want it for another. It happened to me, man. I can live with it. But I do not want another victim to wait another 2 years or 3 years for one person to take her serious. I've heard of parents forcing their daughters to marry their wrists because they're considered wasted goods. There's mothers who allow their children to be violated and they know about it and watch, listen, ignore. And then there's the ones that don't know jack shit. And when you tell them, they're like, no, that didn't happen. There is a very special place in hell for all of you. And the Islamic leaders who have a obligation and they have a responsibility, to provide a service. So you cannot twist it to meet or to be at the standards of a man, like to be on the side of a man all the time. Islam protects women, has protected women, and will continue to protect women. But how can it, when we have leaders in masjids where a victim comes in and screams and shouts and cries and whispers, tries left, right, and center to speak, express her concerns, and she's told, no. Yo, I have never prayed for anything more in my life than that divorce. Because I knew that I would not last mentally if I was told that I could not have my divorce. So he can live and marry as many wives as he wants, but I would be stuck. Even though my marriage was not valid, I would be stuck mentally. But I'm crying because I'm so happy. Wallahi billahi, I have never been more grateful to have the weight lifted off my shoulders the moment I heard those words. Shamsa, he divorced you. Bitch, do you think I asked? Were there witnesses? What, did you hear it with your own ears, yeah? Sis? Yeah? That's it. That's all I needed to hear. People say you need a man. I don't need a man for fuck all. Thank you very much. For fuck all. Okay? Ilahi heard it. She heard it. And it wasn't even fucking a valid marriage to begin with. All I needed was just that confirmation. I got it. And like a dickhead who, because I was emotionally broken, because I was mentally fucked, because I just lost my mom, because it took me 2 years to divorce this MF. What did I do? Within a year later, I got married again. And to be honest, I don't think I married for love. I married because I wanted to feel loved. As sad as that is, I could not get it from my family. So I got married again. Because that's all I knew. Marriage. So I got married again. And then that didn't work out. Because obviously, if you make decisions while you're mentally unstable, yeah, shit happens. You know what I mean? But I am very proud to say, shit did not go down because of me. Yeah, I was what they like to call a perfect wife. Yeah, mashallah. I had to tell my ex-husband, I'm about to tell your divorce story, by the way. And he's like, okay, but he's gonna have to live with it. Anyway, this story actually gave me a headache because I don't think I did not think about it since I got divorced. But I think that process was more damaging mentally than when I was in Somalia. Because when I was in Somalia, it was more physical. I was scared, but everything was normalized. So you feel like everything is normal, you know? Here, I knew instantly, once I came back, that, okay, that's a completely different... I was dealing with two different worlds, Sakudai, yeah? But I can't imagine another victim going through what I did. I cannot imagine another victim thinking that she can't enter a masjid and people will side with the husband rather than actually listening to the concerns of the wife. I have experienced too much when it comes to the Somali community. Now, I'm like, I get so anxious whenever I'm even near them. Wallahi billahi, that's a reality. I get so anxious because their mindset is A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. That is my divorce story. It took me over 2 years to divorce this human. And I don't regret it. But then you get the thing where people say, oh my God, you got divorced too. You got divorced? Oh my God. No one wants a divorced woman, you know. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I was not put on this planet for nen. Okay? Earth Ballista. Okay? You guys go do that. Allow me, Annie. Don't ask me when I'm having babies. Don't ask me when I'm getting married. Don't ask me nothing. Labamero, yeah, apparently. Labamero said, who wants you? I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a little emotional there because I have never actually told or talked about my divorce before. I have never told it ever. Never. I just used to say I got divorced and that's it. But the actual hardship that I went through, I never told. So I think that's it got to me today. It really did. But Now the guy is buried. He's buried. So I can't even say I hope he rests in peace, because I really don't hope that's for him. But thank you guys for watching, and this is one divorce story down, another one to go. Okay, if you guys are new, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, because I love interacting with you guys. And inshallah, I'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the funeral. It's just right, RIP down below. Actually, don't write RIP, because R stands for rest. DRIP, don't rest in peace. Write that. And I'll put the first one down. I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for attending the funeral. You guys have been such amazing guests. I can finally bury this motherfucker, because I have no use for him anymore. Like, I have my mind, it needs free space, to just expand my beautiful creativity, instead of having this mental block because of this motherfucker. Nah, no. Today you die.